Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 600. We're like Joe Rogan. Not like don't cancel us. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying we've done so many episodes.
600 is insane.
That's like, that's alarmingly a lot.
Maybe we talk to each other a little too much.
Yeah, like that's crazy. All right. Well, happy 600, guys. Mm-hmm. We got a lot to talk about. First, we're starting off with an interview. Who do we got?
We launched an incubator program, I think it's almost a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And we are having them on to talk about the launch of their new brand, their Kickstarter, how they got there. And we need all the Kathys to tune in and support their brand new business, because I think they're going to do something very special, and I'm excited that we got to help be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so let's kick off with that, and then we got a lot to talk about. It's looking nasty out there.
Yeah.
So stock market, crypto, war, baby formula. But here's the good news. So all that, that's all. We got to talk about all that. All of it's looking a little rough. The good news is I really think COVID is over.
Yeah. Don't tell Billy that.
Don't tell old Bill. Yeah, we got to talk about Bill. Okay, so we're going to do a quick little chat about COVID and the rates and what Bill Gates is saying and what's going on. And then, of course, really kind of take a look at what the most up-to-the-minute update is on Russia and Ukraine. That and many more things. Who is ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, everyone. We're going to launch today's episode with a very special interview. So I think almost a year and a half ago, we announced at 5-4 that we were launching an incubator program to kind of help the next generation of designers. And our first kind of, what do you call first brand that we worked with was Caleb and Ramah, and they had at the time they were developing something slightly different. Mm-hmm. And part of the whole process of coming and joining us was really understanding product market fit, understanding the opportunity, understand the industry, and why you should pursue something. And I think we had a lot of awesome discussions. Yeah, so like today, I really want to talk about a couple of things. One is welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Full circle moment.
Yeah.
Full circle. Yeah. So why don't you guys both introduce yourself so everyone knows who's talking?
So my name is Caleb, or Khalib Shafrao, from the Bay Area, born and raised. I've been listening to the pod for roughly 4 years now. Been a fan since day one, been following all of Dee's brands. And we've been working with Dee for the past year and a half, and it's been amazing. Ramah.
Mm-hmm.
Ramah.
So I'm Ramah, also from the Bay Area. I did a little bit of schooling at FITM in San Francisco, and kind of just led me to collaborate with Caleb on a new journey that we're taking into the African leather industry. And overall, it's been a really good experience being here at with the 5-4 group.
So what are you guys building? Because I feel I obviously have got a front row to it.
Yeah.
How would you explain the brand you're building?
The Hermes of Africa.
That's
one way to put it.
Yeah. So you guys are building a luxury brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And give us a little bit about your background, because I think that's also important and unique to get this story.
Yeah, so both Caleb and I are first generation Ethiopian Americans. Growing up, we traveled back home, as a lot of, first generation immigrants do. And so we kind of were submerged into two different cultures, the American culture, but also like our original identity. And so it just kind of played a role in like how we developed as individuals and how we see problems and how we go about solving those problems. And so that's really where the heart of this company was built off of, just our daily experience of just being a first generation immigrant.
That's amazing. And I think when you look at like consumer products, so much about like a variety of backgrounds and heritages aren't still represented in the kind of ethos of the consumer. And I think the thing that bothers me about like when all of these next generation of brands, I feel like they get pigeonholed as like, this is an Indian luxury brand. This is a African luxury brand. At the end of the day, it's a luxury brand. Yeah. And if the consumer resonates with it, it should be treated the same. And I think I think a lot of the discussions we had early on was really about like positioning, because like I think people define luxury as a certain thing, and it so far has only come from one part of the world. Exactly. It's really even American luxury. I mean, with the exception of Mike Amiri, there isn't American luxury, right? So luxury has been defined by a European sense of kind of sensibility. So I think it's with the world changing and the consumer's behavior changing, like there's clearly opportunity to bring luxury from different parts of the world. And I think what you guys are doing, specifically with your Ethiopian background, and then like you guys just educating me on Ethiopian history and the royalty and the way they lived, that is the ultimate luxury. And I think like so much of your guys' story is through that education. Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. Just knowing where it all started, kind of tying back to our roots, our history, really, because that's, like you said, where the royalty really starts. And that luxury emblem is made.
Why do you think there hasn't been an African luxury brand that's really broken through yet?
That's a good question.
That's a really good question. I think that not that it started for the wrong reasons, but like even some of like our competitors, right? It kind of misses this part of authenticity that is very hard to like replicate. So like for instance, so what makes us so different is like we're the kind of the bridge between a modern sleek look, right? But still having like the rustic kind of feel of the leather that we have, and so showcasing the beauty of it, and merging the two to then create something that's really like modern and sleek and something that would fit within this kind of like American trends that we're seeing, right? Yeah. People don't necessarily want to rock a bag with like
a whole bunch of tribal patterns.
Tribal patterns.
Yeah, because that's what I think people think when you think African luxury, that it has to be reflective of a specific tribal pattern, which when you guys were designing, that was never a part about it, because you guys are, at the end of the day, you're American.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to rock it to the club.
Yeah. Exactly. Or like you're at the office, like, hey, I'm going to a WeWork or something, whatever it is. Yeah. Like it's just kind of a grab and go look. It goes with quite literally anything you're wearing. Yeah. It's very muted. Yeah. And I think that's one thing, like with minimalism, as we see that trend kind of mega blow up, kind of, so
what I feel like it kind of comes down to simplicity, right? Just keeping it straightforward. We have little.
What's the product? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so it's we're calling it the Mercado Tote, and basically Mercado it's the largest outdoor market, right?
Yeah.
It's the largest outdoor market within Ethiopia. So usually when you're out in that area, you have some type of bag with you. Putting in onions, you're getting spices, all types of different stuff.
Mercado, like a market.
A market, literally a market.
Like
So we wanted something that wasn't too big, wasn't too small, and I mean, you saw it. We went through 8 different samples. Like we went through so many different sizes, and we realized it was, like I said, just simplicity, just narrowing it down, making sure you can fit a good amount of stuff in it, but not too much. And
so it's a luxury tote bag.
Yes.
Did you guys end up doing the shoulder strap?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just tucked away.
comes with the shoulder strap.
Comes with a shoulder strap.
Amazing. It looks so good.
Grab it.
And so the color you're launching with is?
This is like a
So we call it a bone color.
Okay.
So it comes in one color. It has two different hardware. Gold is super symbolic in our culture, but also too, you know, cultural qualities. You know, a lot of people do like that white, gold, silver look in the Western civilization. So we are giving you the best of both. So, you know, like kind of pick your
You get to
poison.
pick, yeah.
Yeah. And how big would you describe the bag? Like, if someone listening, how would you describe it?
I would honestly, I'd call this like a good medium sized bag. It's not it's not small, and especially with the micro kind of trend going on too. This is definitely not anywhere near that, but it's not large. It's not heavy. I'm 5 feet, and it's like a really good size for me. We've tried it on others who are a lot taller too, and it's a really like just moderate size for the bag.
Yeah, and I think what I like about it also, it's unisex.
Yeah.
And I think like I'm definitely buying one, and I definitely gonna plan to wear it because it's functional for me. Like
And
I
look
wear
great on you too.
Yeah. So and the color's amazing and it looks rich. So like
Yeah.
I'm into
That's
that.
the whole point.
And really, what's your guys' vision for the brand now? Because like this is your kickoff product.
Yeah.
Where do you see it going from here?
Well, really, we just want to like be grand contributors to like this interconnected community of like diasporas who are going back and helping the communities that they originate from. So with that being said, it starts, yes, with a luxury product, but really it finishes with like, you know, building the economies back home, creating new jobs. We really infrastructure. Yeah, that's like a huge problem that we've seen growing up for the last 25 years that we've been back and forth. So just kind of helping that gap, mending that gap between resources and production, infrastructure and things like that is really important. And just going back to our roots, really.
And what's the name of the brand?
So the brand's name is YagerLidge. It has a meaning. It means a child of the country in the Ethiopian language, Amharic to be specific. There's a lot of languages. It just kind of is a product of the country. Like YagerLidge is a product of the country. Like we as children of the country are products of the country. Cool. So it's kind of like a full circle meaning. And we definitely feel like a lot of people, you don't have to be from the country to resonate with that type of feeling, you know, like you can, like, you know, you're from India, right? Yeah. So you might not know what it's like to be from Ethiopia, but hey, you know what it's like to be like of immigrant descent, right? Yeah. And having that connection. And if you do go back, you're like, oh wow, like this is really where I come from. Yeah. Look at the, you know, extravagance. Oh, people wouldn't really understand this. Yeah. So we're just really here to showcase that story and to create a new story of African luxury and the perspective of it.
How do you spell it for people listening?
So you spell it Yager, Yager, and then Lidge, Lidge.
Awesome. And so your first bag is officially out on Kickstarter right now.
Yes. Yep.
How much is it?
It's $500.
$500. And the price will go up.
Yes. And to be fair, for a luxury bag,
that's not bad at all. Yeah.
That's, you know, and I can vouch for the quality. Yeah. It's phenomenal. Seen it. Yeah. I've seen it, and I know how great the leather is. I know the people that sewed it, and this is like from a luxury craftsman kind of point of view. $500, incredible price point for this product. And obviously, know you guys will be raising the prices. It's on Kickstarter. So how do you find it on Kickstarter?
So you can go to our Instagram at YagerLidge and click the link in the bio. It will take you directly to it.
Okay, and we'll post it on our Instagram as well. Yep. So, Kathy's, I know all you rich ass Kathy's are out there. $500. You guys are all bragging about your crypto, how much money. I see in your Lambos. You can buy this bag. We need to sell. How many to hit our Kickstarter?
50.
Yeah, I mean, so we've already
We already sold like 5.
Yeah, we sold 5. We actually pre-ordered 50 already. So the first 50 people who do buy the bag, 25 in silver and 25 in gold, will have the opportunity to get their bag immediately after the campaign is over.
Yeah, amazing.
Everyone after that, you'll still get your bag, but it will take a little bit longer.
2-3 months for production.
Yeah, just wait for the production process and things like that.
Okay, so get in there, be that first 50.
Yeah.
And then everyone else, it's worth the wait. It's an incredible bag. It's going to be your daily driver as far as I'm concerned, because I love a good tote.
Yeah.
And by the way,
doesn't?
I'm over the canvas tote. That's just a poor look.
Yeah.
I'm not
Longevity.
I'm not gonna say any names.
We need longevity. We need our products, our stuff to carry
Actually last long.
carry
And have
time
pockets.
In our pockets, yeah. So head on over to Kickstarter. Support the crew here. It's been an awesome pleasure working with you guys. I think for me the best part of this is watching you guys evolve in your thinking and understanding of the opportunity. That takes a lot of maturity level, because I remember when the first time we were talking, I was like, you should change your name.
Yeah.
And,
I was like,
and
hell
he
no.
was like, obviously,
He was super attached to it.
yeah, which I get. And I was like, it doesn't feel like the story that you want to sell. And now full circle, it took a year and a half, but look at, like, the story is there, the product is there.
Everything
I feel
is,
like
fully developed.
Yeah, it's fully developed, and people don't realize shit takes time.
Yeah.
Like, and
Cannot
obviously,
rush a creator.
You guys are perfectionists on top of that, and that's why you're doing a luxury brand, because you're very particular on that. So, like, the process just takes time, and so you have to be ultimately very, very patient with it. So I'm proud of what you guys have done. I'm excited for your future. And let's hit this Kickstarter goal.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and go buy a $500 bag.
Anand, you should buy 10. Come on, you're right.
You should buy 30. Yeah. You should text all your rich friends.
Amanda, how many bags are you guys good for? Come on.
I'll definitely buy some.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, that was great. Everyone head over to Kickstarter. Give them a support, buy a bag, show your love for all the hard work these guys have put into their brand new business.
Yeah, exactly. Group chat community support.
Community support. Let's go.
Give them a kickstart.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about some news?
Yeah.
It's doom and gloom out here. All I see is red.
Yeah.
Blood and guts.
Blood and guts is right, huh?
So it's red everywhere. Bloody red everywhere. The crypto market, I was really led to believe that the crypto market is what was going to save me when every other market crashed. That turned out to be a lie. Stock market, red. War approaching.
Red.
Red. It looks like maybe housing starting to head towards red.
Red.
What the fuck, guys? Is it over? The party's over? Or
Party's over.
Left on red.
no left on red?
And it happened in 3 months.
It happened so fast. I thought we were all partying and having a good time.
Typically, these types of corrections at this scale takes 3 years, and it happened in 90 days.
And that's just like the new timetable, you think, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think momentum just shifts, and there's so much capital in the system that when things start to shift one way, everyone just runs for the fences. And similarly, when they think it's time to buy, they'll run back and buy.
Okay, so let's get this war over in like 5 days. Bam, stock market rips by March.
So a friend of mine sent me, who's a real estate agent in San Diego, sent me an email because we were talking on Friday's podcast about mortgage rates hitting 4%. And he was saying that his kind of thoughts were real estate hasn't been affected yet because he thinks interest rates are gonna continue to rise, which is going to price out first-time buyers. But the reason the real estate market is still ripping is because we're still operating at a nationwide home deficit of 4 million homes. Until the supply catches up to demand, appreciation will continue to rise, which he thinks is 3 to 4 years. So for what his point was in the $1.2 to $4 million category, it's insanely competitive because there's just not enough homes in that price range.
Right.
I could probably accept that in that particular price range.
And you have Blackstone and a handful of other private equity firms that are just gobbling up all the middle class homes across the country.
So that's probably sub $1.5 million, right? That's
probably sub 1.5. So it's like, I don't know, what's the average house price in Arizona? That's where they're going.
Yeah, $500,000 probably, right? Like probably $500,000 to $1 million. And so so between private equity people buying homes, and then the interest rates rising for first-time home buyers, I think the person, as usual, they get screwed as middle class, lower income people.
Yeah, middle class is competing with Blackstone.
Yeah,
think about that.
Yeah.
That's an unfair fight.
Unfair fight. And then on top of that, we're reading this article that mortgage businesses looks like are going to start laying off people because the volume has dropped dramatically. In some cases, the example used in this article was there's 130,000 people working as mortgage brokers. That's around the highest level since 2006. But because mortgage rates have now hit 4%, refinance applications to refinance mortgages have fallen about 45% in the last 6 months. So all these people that were working at these jobs clearly don't have work to do anymore. Mm-hmm. So they're going to start laying those people off. So that's the first kind of industry that is going to see some pain.
You think you're saying the mortgage industry?
The mortgage broker.
Mortgage broker, sure, because they're also like just tied to you eat what you kill.
Yeah.
So if you stop killing, you're not eating.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to be a mortgage broker anymore.
Yeah. That's a rough job to be.
Scene. I'll never forget that scene in The Big Short of the guys laughing about how they sell houses to a bunch of dummies.
Yes, it's
those are the first to go.
Yeah. He said, "What was the quote? Like they're not dumb enough.
Yeah,
or they're not poor enough, or something like that."
Something. Yeah, it was really good. But that's a good representation of the front line, first people to get whacked.
Well, I think it's going to happen across all industries. I'm predicting mass layoffs across every single industry.
Mass layoffs is, I think it's very exaggerated. I don't think you know what mass layoff looks like. I think you're going to see layoffs. Mass layoff is like 10% unemployment. We're not going to 10%.
We're not going to go to 10%, but I think most companies are going to
cut the fat.
10, 15% of their staff in these high growth industries.
But that's a very small portion.
Yeah, it's not going to happen at like Caterpillar. So, I think it's the industries that all the industries we talk about on this podcast, which is what young people want to be a part of, are going to experience layoffs.
Yeah, because I don't think a company like...
Yeah, I don't think Ford's going to lay off anyone.
Yeah, I don't think Procter & Gamble is going to lay off 50,000 people or whatever.
I'm primarily saying technology, e-commerce,
yes.
All these new industries that have experienced crazy growth in the last 3 years. They're going to be forced to lay off. Look at the stock prices of these companies.
Yeah.
Toilet.
What a weird combo of like 3 years of like odd, like ripping for these companies, and then you just hit a wall.
So, and what's also interesting, the credit rating for the average borrower whose loan is bundled into a mortgage bond backed by Fannie or Freddie Mac fell to 733 from 750 the year earlier. So they already start doling out money to lower credit people. Yeah, we know how that story ends.
Damn it.
Next thing you know, man, I got a 580. Here's a $500,000. Go buy a house.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the metropolitan cities with young people who have been taking advantage of work from home. Those are the people that are going to feel the most pain.
Yeah.
What happens to work from home?
It's over. Get back to the fucking office.
Yeah.
It feels like that has to be something that's going to be quick to go.
It's going to go so quickly when a company's cash burn is so high, and you have employee A that says, I'm working from home, employee B that's sitting next to the CEO. What's the word? Rule of what?
Propinquity.
Exactly. That's who keeps their job.
I would say the only caveat to that is a lot of real estate footprint has been reduced. So a lot of companies don't have the same footprint they had, especially a small business. A small business, there's no reason to take on office rent for the most part, right? Like,
But wherever they're working, whether it's out of someone's apartment, whether it's out of like 3 apartments that they combine, people are going to have to work together because this experiment worked when you had unlimited liquidity in the system, when you had unlimited growth, stimmy, and every company was shitting cash, so they didn't care.
Yeah.
When you have to make cuts, you're going to care.
Yeah.
Who are you going to
I
fire?
agree. The people that you haven't seen in 2 years.
Just like, I'm not emotionally attached to Joe. I haven't seen that motherfucker in 2 years.
For real.
Who
You can do
cares?
it over Zoom. Keep it moving.
Yeah, like just say, yeah, man, it ain't working out here for you, Joe.
Sorry, log off.
Didn't the Peloton guy?
You don't even have to have that like awkward in-person moment. It's like,
I
all
know.
right.
It's actually great for like the people, the HR
didn't
person.
Peloton lay off 2,800 people on Zoom, right?
Yeah. The better.com guy.
Yeah,
he was
everyone's going to
looking
be the better.com guy.
I'm telling you, that guy got the raw end of the stick. That shit's going to happen every day now.
Yeah, he was just
Because
first.
how else do you lay off people in this environment? You have to do it over Zoom.
Yeah, if everyone's in like Idaho, Salt Lake City, Montana, and the company's based in San Francisco.
They
They're
probably don't
like,
even
yo.
know where their staff is.
You know what? If I was that guy, I would jump on Cameo and I'll be like, I'll do your layoff for you, 5 Gs.
Do you know how many
that'd be
stories
good.
how many stories I've heard of like people working at a company, work from home, not doing anything, and they're just doing NFTs and DeFi all day, and DeFi's over, right? Temporarily. Like the days of like printing
There's no
money.
Fi.
It's a lot of D.
Come get this D.
And they were making so much money, so they didn't pay attention to their core job. So I guarantee you, they weren't performing.
Yeah.
Like if you were to look at the metrics that you're supposed to hit as an employee when you're on DeFi all day, it's just
For sure.
not possible.
I guarantee you there was so much, like we know at any even medium-sized company, even some of the small ones, there's already so much, time wasted, let's say nicely. But can you imagine like a medium-sized company where everyone's remote? Like there is so much bullshit going on. Like we've sat in an office before and found employees of ours watching full movies at their computer screens that were blocked from our view. Imagine what people are doing at home. They're going weeks without working.
Yeah. So in our office for, 10 plus years in the current office we're in, this is how the day started in front of our face. They show up at 9:30. They go downstairs and have breakfast for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Then they
And
come
I would say
back up.
9:30, you're being generous.
Sure.
Somewhere 10 to 15. Yeah, thank you.
10 to 10:45. So they see us and they're brazen enough to be downstairs for 45 minutes just to get that clock in. So what are they doing at home?
Yeah.
It's so much worse.
A little jerk off.
Little midday.
A little breakfast sandwich. I
bet you it is absurd.
So
I bet.
10:45, they come back up to the office, dilly-dally for an hour, 15 minutes, boom, lunch.
Yeah.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, you're right.
Can you imagine?
First 3
Can you
hours.
Send
imagine?
a couple emails, bam, 6 p.m., you're out.
I mean, masturbation has exploded over the last 2 years.
Oh, for sure. If you can see a chart, it is just exploding.
Productivity at the workplace, masturbation.
It's literally
correlated.
Yeah. Well, I think that combination, like you guys are saying, of having to trim and then it being probably so just stuffed with a bunch of people trading NFTs on your dime from Colorado when your company's based in San Francisco, I think it's going to be pretty gnarly.
I saw, quickly on the NFT front, there was the big OpenSea hack that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Since that hack, in the last 4 days, volume has dropped 70%.
On OpenSea because
Because
people are freaked out.
scared.
Yeah.
Things just come and go
these-
so quickly.
They change so quickly.
Oh, my God.
That's devastating. 70%.
Yeah.
I feel like Web3, am I seeing this right from my feed and kind of like what I follow? It feels like Web3 Like it feels like when a lot of brands and stuff post NFTs now, the comments are all ripping them to shreds.
Yeah.
And then Web3 has become a bit of a meme. Not that people don't think it's going to exist, but it's like, maybe we got like a little ahead of our skis there. Like it's become a kind of a meme.
And it's so funny because 4 months ago, every Fortune 500 company that was consumer facing, made some sort of NFT, metaverse, Web3, Nike.
Nikes are working.
How much real estate? Nike bought
Adidas.
what? Fucking 20
Artifacts.
acres in the metaverse?
So here's the thing. I think the best projects are going to continue to thrive.
Sure.
And I think a company like Nike is going to eat the metaverse's lunch. They're going to crush it. They dropped a Tinker Hatfield project today or yesterday, and it's already gone berserk. So I think like the problem is like everything, when like, you know, your local coffee shop is doing an NFT, it's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
And the problem is now that anything that becomes so easy that everyone can do it becomes ultra competitive and then hard to stand out. And that's what's happening, is that there's so many projects that feels like a money grab and not then actual utility for anything.
And it's interesting that everyone, even within technology, like Sequoia, for example, arguably the greatest investment firm in technology that's ever been created. Andreessen Horowitz, they actually have been in crypto for over 10 years, so their, diving into the space wasn't new. But Sequoia, they didn't even have a crypto fund yet. They do now, as of like last week. Change their bio to like Web3 and like we're gonna enable Web3. Like you've never even done Web3.
Yeah.
So even they got bamboozled.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I saw the other day, like I'm gonna butcher this, but an actress was trending on Twitter, and it said something about, when they put the notes of why they're trending, it said something about NFTs. And let's just say, for sake of conversation, it was Rose McGowan, right? Like it was just like a cool female actress. And I looked at it, and it was because she posted like, so happy to have gotten my, World of Women NFT. And it was all of her fans like bashing her. Like, no,
Wow.
Not you. I can't believe you, this bullshit you're pumping, blah, blah. Like it was like, people were so mad. And I didn't know that, that there was that little bit of new, I don't want to say the tide has shifted, but like there's this new sentiment of people kind of being like annoyed by it.
Well, here's the thing is now people are losing money. That's really the shift in
And
sentiment.
getting hacked.
Yeah.
They've lost a ton of money because a lot of these protocols are down 80, 90%. And Discord is just one big hackathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come and Discord get taken from you.
If you're
Discord, that cord,
Everybody's cord.
every cord.
I mean, Discord is a scary place.
Yeah.
You click a link and all your crypto's gone. That's how easy it is.
Yeah, I all of that stuff feels like a foreign country to me that I don't know my way around.
Discord
Like even
is
like
like
Reddit, I never dove into like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Get back in the office.
Anand, can I ask you a question as the
Yeah,
official group chat spokesperson for Coinbase?
sure.
I
What's
saw
up
like
with your boy?
Yeah, what's up with your? I mean, yeah. Okay, thank you. Just sped up 3 sentences. There's some like a little bit of like, I would say light drama going on about they did this brilliant Super Bowl commercial. I would say best commercial of Super Bowl. And, it was a QR code bouncing around the screen and got a lot of press. But then I don't know, like apparently the CEO came out and was talking about kind of how it was created and kind of bashed some ad agencies saying that they had like whack ideas. And then one of the agencies spoke up and said, wait, that was our idea. Like what's happening?
He just didn't need to do a Twitter thread on saying that his whole team came up with the idea. There was no reason. You won. You did the Super Bowl thread. Why would you bash agencies? There's no point in that. And then it comes out that the idea actually came from an agency they used.
So to play devil's
That's
advocate,
tough.
isn't it likely that he was not in those agency meetings and someone on his marketing team ditched the agency, took the credit, and presented to Brian Armstrong, and he's under the impression that his brilliant team did it?
But what's the point
That
of
person's got to go there.
Yeah.
The person made him look like an idiot.
Idiot. And
Because
there's
I
no
get it. It's a feel good story. Like, look what our team scrape this together. You know, it cost $100,000. We're still, you know, like we got creative, David and Goliath sort of thing. And
maybe the marketing guy or girl took a victory lap after the Super Bowl commercial success, and he felt the need to like dap up his team publicly.
Yeah, they fucked him.
And he just didn't know. Like, come on, do you really think the CEO of Coinbase is sitting in an ad agency meeting in August before the Super Bowl? Before the NFL season even starts?
You got to be careful with those tweets then, Brian.
Yeah. I don't see the point in going out there and like bashing the agency. You could give your team props, but to shit on agencies in general, there's no upside. It's just dumb.
But here's the question too, because I think we all assume, Anand, you know way better than I do, but he's a good guy with good intentions. Like, is there a chance here that maybe like the agency is kind of lying, or like maybe they gave like a roundabout idea that wasn't exactly that, and it wasn't really where they even got the idea from?
He edited his tweets.
Okay.
I mean, he deleted it and said, hey, kudos to the agency too. He changed his tune.
So that's what happened then, for sure. It's probably somebody, not for sure.
Yeah, we did that, Brian. We did that.
Of course, you might get he might flip you a couple coins.
Yeah, well, I would fucking fish a coin out of his pocket right now.
Yeah, they should flip him off the payroll. I mean, you made the CEO look like an idiot.
Yeah, it's just so unnecessary. They won the Super Bowl ad contest. Yeah. They did it. Like, they got the impressions. Their site crashed. Take your victory lap and move on. You know
what I would say is they probably just added a few million extra little sprinkle impressions on the commercial with this.
Now you're curious.
It's a net positive. I don't think anyone's saying, I'm deleting Coinbase because of this.
Great for the agency. I'm sure they're going to get a bunch of work because of it.
That's true. Okay. Amazon is going to war a little bit. They're suing, one of the big things on Amazon, like the ratings really, really matter on products and how they rank and how they're searched and all that stuff. But Amazon's really very serious, probably the most serious I've ever seen with an online retailer, of policing the fact that you can't cheat the system, you can't fake them, you can't have bots do it. Apparently they are making that point loud and clear by suing two companies that that's what they do. They found a way to apparently cheat the system and get you positive reviews, and Amazon is going after them.
So they're going after two companies, AppSally and Rebatist, and they're claiming obviously fake reviews that people got paid. I mean, the whole review system on Amazon is fake.
It's a joke.
It's not. I mean, like, everyone is paying for reviews. Every single person. Yeah. So I mean, I think this is like honestly disingenuous for Amazon to do it. Amazon themselves has an early reviewer program where you pay them and give free product and blah, 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 so that their quote unquote best customers can review your product.
That's exactly
how. They're
the
mafia. That's why.
But that's exactly how it should be. They should have a third-party company that is just a bunch of people testing products, and those reviews are the reviews that are posted, because we know how much bullshit goes on and chicanery on Amazon.
Amazon reviews is like...
But it can kill your business.
Yes, it can absolutely kill your business if some idiot gives you a 1 star. Yeah. Like, if there's some of the brands, products we sell, someone put a 1 star. Great shoes. Doesn't fit me. 1 star. Hey, yo, you have a fucked up foot. You giving me a 1 star?
Didn't mention they ordered the wrong size.
Yeah, order the wrong size. Or, oh yeah, my right foot is a foot bigger than my left foot. That's why your shoes don't fit, you jackass.
But don't you think the problem here is Amazon they want that money for themselves? They don't want someone else to come in and build
That's
a
all it is. That's all it is. They want to control it. They want to make the money and they want to control. But all of the reviews, I mean, the reviews is fraud. It's just the whole thing. I do not even like the idea that reviews exist on e-commerce sites, because now every brand has their fake review sites.
Right. No, it needs to be regulated. There are plenty of people, because now you buy everything on Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's not just like you're buying toilet paper. You don't need to look at a review on toilet paper. But if you're buying like a crib for your baby, you're going to look at the reviews. If you're debating between like 4 different cribs, it just needs to be regulated, because it can crater a small business just by a few 1 stars. You're no longer at the top. And then all of a sudden you have all this inventory because you were crushing it and you go bankrupt.
Yeah.
But don't you think it just seems to me like the whole review thing in general is just so flawed. Like in theory, it's so good because you can hear from people, but it's so easy to like, you know, it happens on Yelp. We've talked about that for years. It happens everywhere. Like anywhere where there's a truly like crowdsourced review, it's just too easy to like, you know, tie in a personal vendetta.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see how. I don't see the solution for it. I mean, a big part of reviews goes back to my general idea that on the internet, it needs to be transparent. Your identity, the same way it is in the real world. If I walk up to Anand and say, "Hey, how is that crib?" I know that Anand is giving me the feedback on that particular crib. On the internet, it's user XYZ3617 giving a detailed review on the crib, probably doesn't have a kid.
It's a farm in the Philippines that's using it, bouncing back in the U.S. to get the U.S. IP, shitting on the other person.
Or a Chinese vendor that's making his own knockoff for $20 cheaper.
I mean, that's the point, is that like if so much of the internet's problems can be solved if it was transparent who was talking. I can't believe there isn't like, I know internet's all like, oh, the rebels, but like maybe, you know, maybe the rebels are scammers.
No, I think in the U.S. you can pull it off. In some of these other countries, that's fine. Free speech isn't allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It just seems like it's like so close to making sense, but it's so easy to fuck up. Yeah. What about Meta? Meta's, you know, I don't know. In my opinion, TikTok is just so far ahead of Instagram, at least. I mean, obviously Facebook, but as a bigger company, who knows? But the point is, you know, Instagram released Reels, which was their competitor to TikTok. And in continuing their battle, they have taken the massive step of launching Reels globally. So that's the next chess move.
I mean, it wasn't rolled out globally yet?
I know.
What are you doing?
That's what I thought.
I saw this headline. you didn't know that this might work.
To come back for 2 months.
I mean, just mind blowing at the speed at which Meta is operating. Like clearly, like you know that this is working. Why not just go and roll it out right away? By the way, even if it doesn't work, you know this is what the consumer wants. Yeah. Judging by the engagement on TikTok. So that problem is easy to address. And then launch it, and obviously you can iterate the product. But I mean, this is like an arms race as far as I'm concerned. And these guys are just moving too. Yeah, Meta's walking. And like, I just don't understand why you're taking so long. And so then the other interesting thing is they're going to introduce another thing that I'm surprised. They haven't really properly introduced a Reels ad product.
What's also interesting is Reels is significantly inferior to TikTok. Anyone who goes on TikTok, it's not even like a close competition. No. And it's their fastest growing product.
Yeah.
Think about that. What are they doing? Like for real, what are they doing? Is this like they're just too big?
No, I think they know they're toast in the social media land, meaning like that's going to be a slowly decelerating platform. It's not going away overnight or anything. But if young people are on TikTok and Snapchat and blah, 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 they're not going to be on Facebook when they're 35. Just not going to be. And so the boomers, which are us, will be like 55, 60 using probably Instagram less, Facebook less, and then those people. So the dynamics are really bad for them.
Yeah.
And they're banking on the metaverse. Like, I'm not even trying to be facetious. They lost $10 billion in their metaverse division in calendar year 2021. So they are investing tens of billions.
What if metaverse just doesn't?
But for them, it's like Oculus outsold Xbox, so that's part of the metaverse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems to me like Instagram's brand is still so strong. Like where Facebook is probably, really hard to revive.
Facebook should be put out to the pastures.
It's like for like senior citizens to connect in nursing homes. They should just make it like it should go from like college kids to connect to like it ends at senior citizen homes. But Instagram's brand is still so strong, and like you could do it. Like, yeah, TikTok's amazing, but like what happens the day that also like TikTok runs into some, regulatory issues or that like you are primed to just take that over and
yeah, I
agree.
agree.
They're paying zero attention.
It feels like they are giving up, and there's no reason to. It's still how they make all their money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't play the stock market, but Facebook stock is looking very, very interesting, considering how much cash they have, how profitable they are. The stock has been basically cut in half since its 52-week high. None of the other big cap techs have been cut in half like that.
None of them have even gone down.
Yeah, I mean, 20% maybe.
Max.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're getting punished because they're like, you should be focusing on figuring Instagram out. It feels like if you figure Reels out in the algorithm, people would stay on it.
They would. They would.
I go on Reels. I watch like, let's say like a Gary Vee type clip. The next one is like a girl surfing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's stupid. And it doesn't autoplay. It doesn't like, it's just weird. It seems like literally no effort. And you're telling me that's where all your money's coming from. You have however many people on staff. You can burn 10 billion without even thinking twice. All you get is like a commercial of a, animated Mark Zuckerberg. You can't, I don't know. I don't know a damn thing about making social media apps, but it seems like Facebook could make Instagram 5 times as good with very minimal effort.
Yeah, agreed.
Agree with that too.
And by the way, if you figure Reels out in a meaningful way, the ad dollars start flying again. Flying.
I also think that everyone kind of knows, like in the back of their head, like, yeah, but TikTok is ran by the Chinese government. Like they wish that the action was on Facebook.
It's like smoking. You're like, I know smoking's bad for you, but it feels good.
I look cool. Yeah. And I think that like they would much rather send that money to Facebook and much rather like feel like it wasn't just going to get banned one day. Like I still, even as like we build a brand on TikTok and all that stuff, I just, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking this could just be gone at any moment.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah. And I just think they're really blowing a big opportunity. Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. How about travel? Everyone's back again. Everyone's traveling. So holiday travel over the long weekend, President's Day, was at the highest level since Thanksgiving. Because, Omicron's winding on down. I think we're like 90% down from our highs.
Yep.
No one's even really, I don't know, in our world at least, no one's talking about COVID. No one seems to be really worried about COVID. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but this really feels like we're at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've said this for the last couple of months. I think for most people, they've decided it's over.
Yeah.
There are obviously still restrictions and people still wearing masks, and there's some mandates in certain states and counties, but behavior is the best way to see how people feel about it. And
that's true.
The fact that travel is through the roof just tells you that, like, I think it's up double from this time last year. The airports, double.
That's crazy.
So what are we doing, man? UK just got rid of all restrictions.
Yeah.
Do whatever
What
you
is
want.
our restriction at this point? I'm thinking about my daily life is...
you can't go to the market without a mask.
I can't go to the
mask
store.
Mask is the big thing.
And mask is really it. And
but
then
UK
kids
got rid of
masks.
quarantining.
Yeah.
You are recommended to stay home if you test positive, but you don't have to.
That means nobody's staying home.
They got rid of their test program. They're like, fuck it. It is normal. We are back to normal.
Let's take LA, for example. We live here. We had the Super Bowl last week. There was at least 80,000 people on top of each other.
Yeah, where's the surge?
There wasn't a surge. That should give everyone confidence from a school standpoint. Hey, that didn't spread COVID all throughout the county, all over the city. It didn't go spread it all over the country. 90% plummet rate in infections.
But think about what really happened during Super Bowl. Yes, LA was the most, but everyone was with other people.
Yeah. True.
Like Super Bowl, it's probably just
like
as much as
Thanksgiving.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. There's no sign of it anywhere increasing.
It's Christmas without the politics. That's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I just
Meaning
want
you
to
don't
get
have
rid
to
of the
talk
mask.
politics. Yeah.
All I care about is the mask.
Who needs a better advisor is Bill Gates. I just
You still wear masks?
No. This is what this gentleman said. He did some interview or conference, said, yeah, this pandemic's dying down. I'll agree, the data is showing, but the next one's coming. Why is he saying that?
Yeah.
It's literally being like, yeah, your grandpa just passed away. Your grandma's going to go soon too. What? What kind of advice is that?
Yeah.
Like, I get what he's trying to say. Let's prep and do better for the next one. But bro, give us a minute.
And you're not the guy to be setting that
You
message.
know what, Bill? Here's an advice for you. Shut the fuck up.
You know what I noticed is Bill's comments are all like, disabled or like,
obviously, like
people he follows only.
He just. Well, why are you saying that? You know what? Instead, he should say is like, there was so much to learn from this experience. I think we as a society are hyper aware of now how we can attack this. And there's a number of ways to go about this. Not get ready for the next one. Why? Because you're unleashing it with your fucking microchips? God
put
damn
that on
it.
TikTok. That'll go viral.
Yeah. You're
there's a
unleashing
mark.
it, Bill. I'm coming for you. Where's the camera? I'm coming for you, Bill.
No, but if he actually wanted to be helpful, instead of doing this in some public forum where now you can read this article on Twitter and you can Google it, you can see it anywhere.
Yeah.
Go privately talk to the public health officials that made mistakes, and go talk
totally
to the politicians privately and say like, "Hey, these are the 10 things we need to be prepped for." It's like intelligence. We don't know what the CIA is doing behind closed doors. If we when we have
just
threats
do
and
it.
stuff, just do it.
Yeah. What the fuck am I supposed to do about the next pandemic, Bill? You know what I'm saying? Got a couple masks left over. Is that good? You tell me.
By the way, exactly. I'm not even joking. You're right. What the fuck are we supposed to do?
Yeah, just be scared. That's it.
Yeah. That's insane. What do you expect us to do? What do you want me to do? You want me to get a fucking microscope and start looking at every saliva that comes in my house?
Microbial.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
the
dude.
fuck,
I don't.
Bill?
I don't know what's going on. I'm not a scientist. I'm just trying to sell some clothes and have a good time.
Yeah, come on, Bill. Relax. How long do I got? 2 years? I can take that. Can I get to Coachella?
I mean, yeah, that's it. That's literally.
He'll be there.
Who?
Billy.
Yeah, he better be wearing a goddamn mask.
He's going to Coachella?
He's been at Coachella's before. I have confirmation.
I think Bill's a party animal. I mean, some people would say no shit from the flight manifest, but I'm just saying. You want to know what kind of kills me is that we don't talk more. This is like a Rogan-y type message, so I'll go light. But like that, to me, what would be way more helpful than even Bill saying like next pandemic we need to strategize is, hey, let's take a quick look at the data of how much like avoidable health risks played a part in how sick people got. Let's all get healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't sell, but next pandemic's coming.
Yeah, no one even mentions that. No one even says like, oh, obesity was a huge contributor. There's all these things like if there is another one coming potentially, or even if not, why don't we all get a little healthier? That's a nice uplifting message.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey,
Join the
we
Run
saw
Club.
clear, great data from people that were exercising, got proper vitamin D, weren't obese. Why doesn't Bill Gates work on an exercise plan?
Yeah, get out there, Bill. I want to see you on Mirror.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama that shit.
Yeah.
And just say it's coming.
Michelle Obama that
exactly.
shit.
Come
Exactly.
on, go Michelle. And we have no greater motivation than we do now. Just be like,
Yeah.
the next one's coming. Fucking, you better go run.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out there.
Instead, like every fast food has the next new product that they're hawking on television.
I don't know.
Double
Taco
bacon.
Bell is coming out with some incredible product these days. Like the innovation labs over there.
I'd
Wow.
love to visit it.
Yeah. I mean, I
wasn't
see a
aware.
Taco Bell commercial and my mouth is literally watering.
Years ago, I remember hearing on Kiss FM Ryan Seacrest saying he got invited to the Innovation
lab?
Lab, and he said it was an absolutely amazing experience.
I mean, it's like, top 5
I think it's
consumer
the best
brands at innovation.
I think it's the best restaurant
marketing.
in the world, bar none.
But you don't eat meat, so you can't come.
Yeah, he thinks that with only having a third of the menu.
The third of the menu that I get to enjoy, to me, if I could eat anything for the rest of my life, I would eat Taco Bell.
But don't you think when it comes, if you honestly looked at it from consumer brands, marketing, social media, product innovation, they're top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
I would assume McDonald's is. Obviously, I don't eat anything at McDonald's because they don't really have the McPlant doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah, they don't market as well. They're just such a staple. They're just such a it's McDonald's. But I don't know. I don't feel like we ever talk about their
Didn't they do the Travis Scott McDonald's?
Yeah, that was cool. I'll give you
I mean, for me, I still think the consumer brand that I engage with the most and that I love is Starbucks. Unbelievable. Why? I love Starbucks.
What stands out to you about Starbucks? Like the membership program?
No, not even that. I think their mobile app is phenomenal. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable to order.
Yeah.
Second, consistency.
Meaning every product is the same?
No matter where you are in the world, you could be in Paris, London, India, a Starbucks coffee tastes like a Starbucks coffee.
That's true.
I think the food has a nice variety.
Great light bites.
And then I think the speed at a Starbucks is, if you go to your local coffee shop, they're taking 30 minutes to make a cup of a nice latte for you.
Cup of Joe.
It's insane.
And you have to have a conversation.
Oh my God. No one at Starbucks is talking to you. Yeah. The homeless person is going there using the restroom. I got no problems with all that thing. The speed at which, Starbucks is the only coffee company that can have a drive-through. You know how long those drinks take in other companies? My neighborhood coffee shop, I love it. If I go order a junk latte from them, it's 10 minutes.
At least. There's
10 minutes.
There's some of the, I obviously don't want to bash anyone because they're all great, but there's some trendy coffee places in this city that it takes an ungodly amount of time. I cannot wrap my head. I've been there when they were empty. I've been there when there's no line, and it takes fucking forever.
But the person who goes to that wants that experience. They want to whip up that laptop, start working on that script that they're pitching to William Morris, and
You think they purposely slow it down?
just take your time.
They'll like it better if it takes 20 minutes.
Because everyone always says it's kind of like in LA, if a restaurant is shitty, it's authentic.
What does that mean?
No, if you go to a hole-in-the-wall restaurant, Indian hole-in-the-wall or Mexican hole-in-the-wall.
You mean if it's not clean?
Yeah, if it's like a dump, they're like, oh, it's so authentic. What's authentic about that? Because India's dirty, this restaurant's dirty, it's authentic? That's authentic? And it's the same thing about coffee. They just think it's like, oh, it's artisanal. They're selling Stumptown. They have the fucking bag right there. That's not artisanal coffee. They're literally selling another brand.
Is that like a Paris thing? If you get coffee in Paris, does it take an hour?
Everything takes an hour.
Maybe that's authentic. Maybe that's what makes coffee authentic.
It's authentic. Yeah.
Just have France wait times.
Paris, everyone sits in the outside waiting for their shit, and
that's
then
just the culture.
Yeah,
that's socialism.
Okay, well maybe that's what they're recreating. That makes it authentic.
All right.
Big problem. So we have supply chain issues and stuff like that. One of the new things, we've covered a few key things that have been getting hit by the supply chain issues, but a new one, baby formula. And this is a big deal because obviously, kids rely on it. So you got to go stock up, you got to figure it out because that's not something that you can just be like, we'll go without for a couple weeks.
Yeah. So obviously they had supply chain issues, and then the FDA announced Thursday that it's working with Abbott Nutrition on a voluntary recall of Similac, Alimentum, and Alicare, all infant formulas, because 4 infants fell ill and were hospitalized in 3 states.
Oh my gosh! So it's a double whammy.
Yeah. So and I've heard from other people that there is actually a shortage of a lot of baby products, even diapers and in different cities around the country. But formula is pretty pretty crazy because like
It's pretty critical.
because
Yeah.
if you're not breastfeeding, then you need formula because your kid can't eat.
Right.
And not everyone can afford the organic fucking, $40 bottle of formula that like, some, wealthy cities patrons can handle.
And that's really what it comes down to, right? I mean, like, what else do you do? Like, what's your backup?
Yeah, it's really, really tough when you have a baby.
Interesting.
Like it's either breastfeeding or formula. Like there's no other alternative. They can't have Taco Bell yet.
I bet they could. I bet they never tried a chalupa.
It's so
Yeah,
funny
that's
because the other
scary.
I mean it's pretty scary and I think the FDA needs to be all over this because this can cause other issues with infants that they're not even
It'd be
foreseeing.
disastrous.
Yeah. I think it's a humongous problem.
While we're on supply chain, and I think this actually is a bad signal for the economy, and it's not a sign of efficiency. The traffic at LA ports has fallen off a cliff. So this isn't, in my opinion, to celebrate efficiency.
No.
I think companies are just ordering less, and there's fewer ships to get in. And I think when we revisionist history, in like 5 years, if anyone does a study, the supply chain problems were more over demand rather than lack of ability logistically to handle it. Because the world supply network was, fit for, especially in the US, to fit for X number of goods. We pumped $7-8 trillion into the economy, and all of a sudden we need 30-40% more goods because no one was going anywhere, so everyone's just buying shit.
Yeah.
And that's what caused the supply chain more than like, a factory shut down because of COVID and ports shut down because the longshoremen didn't show up.
Yeah.
And I think demand is just falling off a cliff.
Well, I'm not mad at that take. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
That's what we do. Hot
No,
takes.
Yeah. No, it's good. That's a good clip. I wanted to let you fully get that out, so we got the button on the end. But yeah, I'm not mad at the take. You could be right because I definitely agree with you that they didn't solve efficiency. That didn't happen.
There's no way, right? In
So,
3 months,
yeah.
we became the most efficient port in LA.
Yeah,
I know where
that
demand
didn't
has
happen.
not slowed.
Or did maybe Buttigieg is off paternity leave and figured
Oh,
it
he's
all out?
back. He just got down there and whipped him into shape.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the ports being faster.
They're saying the traffic is
The
off.
traffic I know is down, but it's also time of the year, right? Like January and February are not busy times of the year to bring in goods.
Sure.
There's a humongous surge in November and December, and then the big back to school is a humongous shopping moment. So that's May, June. So I'm curious to see if that changes by then. We're gonna have retail sales coming out for February soon. So.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
Yeah, I have heard. I talked to a few major discount retailers recently, and they said specifically in the athleisure category, business is slow, which I was shocked.
Zoom's over.
I just don't understand how athleisure is slow. I don't see anyone else wearing anything else. They're just not buying any new.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's weird. I would think hotter than ever.
Maybe people are finally re-entering society and want to dress up a little bit.
But
that was
like
the
the easy next step.
That was the feedback that everyone wants going out clothes, specifically women. And that's probably, if you go like Revolve site, everything is sold out all the time. Because I think their customer is out.
I mean, I could just tell you anecdotally, like with our friends, we go to like a dinner and like now girls are talking about outfits and this and that, which 8 months ago, no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
That's-
just tell,
you're
like,
right.
just I look at like Revolve site just looks like it's busy with going out clothes, wedding clothes. Like wedding season is going to kick off soon.
So can't get a Chanel appointment.
Definitely no Chanel.
No chance. Zero chance.
I think
But
going
you
out
can
clothes
get
is-
to Lululemon.
Exactly.
Wide open. No one in line. Yeah, I think you're probably right? I mean, I think that makes total sense. If you have a budget for clothes for the month, you're just not going to spend it on more athleisure. That's probably what you've been
Yeah.
wearing
I
for
mean,
the
how much
last
more?
2
How
years.
many more leggings do you need?
Yeah, that's true. Okay. You want to know who doesn't need any more leggings? The Olympic athletes, because no one gives a shit.
That sucks.
The Olympics are cricket town. No one, the lowest ratings ever.
TV viewership dropped 42% from 2018. That's
wild.
insane. The Winter Olympics drew an average of 11.4 million primetime users. I mean,
You want to know what else? It's like, remember how when we were talking about like NBA ratings or whatever that was declining, and we're like, yeah, but there's like House of Highlights now, and people are watching it on social media. I don't see shit about the Olympics on social media, so it's not like those eyeballs like are getting displaced somewhere else.
so I'm blaming the marketing of NBC on the Olympics. No one else. I think people actually care about the Olympics. Of course, if you market it properly, like, you know what the biggest problem, and I think this is a problem with society. Like, we don't want to portray certain people as better than other people, but like Olympians are better than everybody else. They just are. They're physically better than fucking everyone else on the earth.
Yeah, that's
right?
the whole
They're
point.
Olympians.
Yeah.
That's the whole
So it
point.
makes it great. Yeah.
We should celebrate them as like demigods, and NBC, Nike, Ralph Lauren, whoever all these sponsors are, should be like putting up billboards all over town. Like, watch, who's the snowboarder?
Shaun White.
No, the female one, Chloe.
Oh.
Chloe Kim, right? Is she
I
the
don't even
famous? Yeah, so I think
haven't
she's
been
like the
watching.
it snowboarder. There should be billboards of her all over the world saying that she's the best snowboarder in the world and blah, 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 hyping it up.
Just she's better than you is what it should say.
Yes, I think we need to we are not all equal. The pandemic showed us that we're not all equal.
Well, definitely not physically.
Yeah, exactly. I think when it comes to physical, like specifically sports,
Yeah.
like my guess is the only reason why NBC may not have put. I mean, this is devastating for NBC. They spent so much money on getting the Olympic rights. Why is it? Because it was in China?
I think there's a protest.
Maybe.
I actually do.
You think Americans did not watch because of?
I think in the back of their head, they didn't want to. They saw Beijing and they're I'm out.
Nah,
You think
feel
like
like
that many
people just-
Americans?
give a shit.
I don't know. China's branding is. I mean, if you do Q rating, what country has the lowest? I mean, I guess Russia today.
Yeah.
But their Q rating can't be high.
I mean, in 1988, the average. No, hold on. In 2018 Winter Olympics, it was 20 million viewers average. 20 million viewers.
Don't you think part of it?
In 4 years, it dropped that much? That's nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts. Don't you think part of it is like just attention span? Like people, like you need stars. Like we need to build these people up.
That's
in
my
the 4
point.
years
It's
in
marketing.
between. Yeah.
It's marketing. Like NBC should have been hyping up the American athletes
for the last year. At least.
No, I mean, dude, remember Dan and Dave?
Yes,
But that was up to the sneaker companies. So the sneaker companies were pumping up these athletes because the stars mattered. My guess is, what are you selling for these skiers? Where's the incentive from the Nikes and Adidas to pump these people up?
Yeah.
I think the U.S. government should tell Nike, yo, this is good for our patriotism.
You can do it for
subsidize the
Summer
marketing
Olympics.
budget.
You could do it for Summer Olympics because you can buy the tracksuit,
T-shirt.
You can buy the T-shirt. You can buy the shoes.
The government
I'll buy
should
a
give
beanie.
Nike like whatever the marketing budget is. The government takes care of that. Nike
'Cause
gets to run ads about
unfortunately,
Chloe
like,
Kim.
NBC doesn't know. That's not their core competency.
Yeah.
Marketing Olympic athletes.
No, they got to go to brands.
I mean, they market the shit out of Saturday Night Football.
That football markets itself.
Yeah, but they look at the production value of Saturday Night Football. The lighting, everything. It's
But,
done well.
Yeah, you have to introduce these people like years in advance.
Yeah, that's true. You got to build it up. I think people's like young people. I mean, old people. No one like people just don't care. You don't know who these people are. You know, it's fun to be like, America, like go America again, and like beat every other country, but you need stars.
Yeah, and I think there are stars is my point. That's the
Yeah,
thing that
there
frustrates me because like I watched a few highlights. There's especially on the women's side, there's like mega stars.
Yeah.
Like Chloe Kim should be like portrayed like LeBron. It's just such a missed opportunity.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we have 4 years to figure it out. Well,
Yeah.
2 technically.
Yeah.
Summer's way higher, right? Summer ratings.
Yeah.
Summer was the lowest ever, and it was 15 million viewer average. But even then, like,
Summer will be, if it was 15,
Yeah.
the next one's going to be 10.
Yeah.
well, not. I mean, you got to get the hype going now.
Yeah.
you do.
There's a
You're right.
12-year-old right now that we should be hearing about.
But like, put a camera on her, find a social media manager, get that girl's TikTok going.
Can I tell you how many people messaged me about the 16-year-old Grandmaster chess Indian kid who beat the Magnus whoever?
Carlsen, Yeah.
Why? More people know who that kid
Yeah,
is.
he probably had a hot video.
Yeah.
It's a good social media marketing team.
I mean, this is chess. Nobody plays chess.
Yeah. Hey, you're right. You're totally right. We need some social media. I mean, what the fuck's Facebook doing? They can put some work into that. Okay, what's up with, are we going to war? So yesterday I was kind of looking at the Ukraine, Russia stuff. I mean, I think everyone was, because it looked to me, I have a limited understanding of sort of details, but it looked to me like Putin was sort of like making some concessions, and things were starting to look like they were going in the right direction. And then it seemed like there was a bit of a switcheroo that happened. And now it feels like we're like tiptoeing on the edge of, Russia officially going all in here. Is that?
Yeah, looks
Right.
like they're saying it's the beginning of a Russian invasion, and there are new sanctions coming down on Moscow now. I don't know what that means.
I think what they're trying to do is freeze out all the oligarchs, so Putin's cronies, freeze their international bank accounts all over the world, basically remove them from the financial system. So if you're a billionaire but you have no access to your money, so will that put pressure on the oligarchs to go against Putin internally because they're like, we have no money anymore, or we can't access the financial system? And I think that's the game theory. Separately, Trump did an interview and said Putin is an absolute genius today.
See, how'd you get tuned in? It was on the news or something?
Someone tweeted it.
Yeah.
On the Truth Social app,
No.
the number one app in the App Store.
What is
one
going
of our-
on?
One of the Cathys messaged me and said he's number 426,000 on the wait list. That they wouldn't even. He's on a wait list.
So Truth Social is Donald Trump's, backed social media. It's his answer to all the censoring. And today, it's on the top of the Apple App Store charts.
Yeah, hot.
So what's going on? Where did they launch? Was that the interview? He was like launching the app and talking about, this guy is on cloud 9 right now.
Can you imagine this guy can't even access social media and he's the number one app in the App Store? He doesn't even have a place to promote this.
It's wild.
So we talked about this on the last episode. He skyrocketed to number one. He remains at number one 24 hours later. Talking Ben the Dog has fallen to 3. HBO has climbed to 2. I mean,
Euphoria.
this guy is winning the presidency.
No.
Why?
If he
His
runs, he
number-
wins.
If he runs, he wins.
Well, he's 100% running. I just don't
If
think
he
he'll
runs,
get out
he
of
wins.
Republican.
Who beats him?
DeSantis from the Republican side.
Why? The people
way.
want the Trumpster.
I think DeSantis answers to him. Don't you think the dynamic there?
I think they're like beefing.
Yeah. I think
Can't you go
DeSantis
pres,
is-
co-pres, pres, vice pres?
No. Being a vice
That wins
president
for
really
sure.
doesn't really advance your career than you can get on private equity boards.
There you go.
Trump is gonna rip DeSantis. in the
He's
asshole.
gonna rip his face off.
That would be.
I mean,
would be
this
a
guy's been
fun-
resting for 2 years now.
And he's still in the same interview where he said Putin's a genius. Because I don't think his rigged election message is going to work. I think Republicans are even over that.
Yeah, no.
No,
He's
but what's
still
going to
doing
work
it.
is
He
everything
did it
that's happening
today.
right now. Stock market crashing, beef with Russia. He's literally a pig in slop, as they say. I mean, it's literally like, I wouldn't have done that. That wouldn't have happened under me. Everyone hated on me and Putin's relationship. Look what's happening. Stock market was ripping. Like they're just giving him lobs. Obviously it goes without saying, it's not the future that I want, but I think at this point, and especially where we'll be after 3 more years, if he runs, he wins.
Let's see.
what I'm hoping on is that he's just too old and tired and doesn't feel like dealing with it again.
No, he's running. Can you picture a world where this guy can claim the rigged election,
Yeah.
come back and win and say, I won 3 straight elections? That's never been done before.
It's like 3 rings. He's like an athlete. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you have it. That's the rundown. Anything we're missing?
That's it.
Okay. We'll see you on Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Peace.